origins of the devil, that is, the origins of evil incarnate, stem from the Middle East. Many religions don't have a singular entity that is responsible for all evil. In fact, it would appear that many religions' deities do both good and evil. This is especially true of pre-Christian European religions. The beginning of having a purely evil entity stemmed from Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism believes in a struggle between good and evil. He taught there is one eternal God, Ahura Mazda, who is Lord of wisdom. He is holy, wise, just, and good. Angra Mainyu, the spirit of evil, is holy, wicked, and malevolent. Zarathustra was the founder of Zoroastrianism. Hardly anything is known about Zarathustra's life. For example, it is uncertain when he lived. The ancient Greeks speculated that he lived 6,000 years before the philosopher Plato, and several scholars have argued for a date at the beginning of the 6th century BCE. Other scholars accept that Zarathustra is the author of the Gathas, a part of the holy book of Zoroastrians, the Avestas, which they date on linguistic grounds in the 14th or 13th century BCE. In one of the seminal stories of Zoroastrianism, Ahura Mazda called upon a number of lesser good spirits to destroy the evil Angara Mainyu. Yazatas was chief among them. There were 6 moral divinities, immortal beings of great goodness. There were also gods from ancient Persian religions, such as Mithra. Yazatas had special functions among them, such as justice, devotion, and wholeness. The evil spirits Angara Mainyu was aided by a host of demons. Followers of Zoroastrianism believe that good will eventually triumph over all evil, and that the last day will come, an apocalypse. Zarathustra's teachings are strongly dualistic. The believer has to make a choice between good and evil. Zoroastrianism was one of the first religions to make ethical demands on the believers. The term Satan and Satans, which occur in the Hebrew Bible, are certainly not applicable to the modern conception of Satan as the spirit of evil. The original idea of a Satan is that of an adversary or agent of the opposition. For example, when the Philistines under Achish, their king, were about to commence hostilities against the Israelites, David and his men were about to march with the Philistines. Saul objected that David should become a Satan to them by deserting to the enemy. The places in the Hebrew Bible where Satan appears as a distinct personality are in the book of Job and the Prophecy of Zechariah. In the book of Job, Satan appears with a distinct personality and is associated with the sons of God and is in attendance with them before the throne of Jehovah. He is the cynical critic of Job's actions, and in that character he accuses him of insincerity and instability. Satan receives permission from Jehovah to test Job's faith by afflicting Job and everything he holds dear. We have here the spy, the informer, the public prosecutor, the executioner, all embodied in Satan, the adversary. These attributes are not good ones, but the writer does not suggest an absolute antagonism between Jehovah and Satan. In the prophecy of Zechariah, Satan appears again and is represented as standing at the right hand of Joshua, the high priest, to resist him. He seems to be claiming strict justice against one open to the accusation because Joshua was clothed in filthy garments, and this represented a type of sin and pollution. Jehovah appears, and mercy triumphs over justice. The filthy garments are taken away. Even here, the character of Satan although hard, is not devoid of virtue, for it embodies a sense of justice. But in later Judaism, we find the conception of Satan strongly colored by Persian dualism. Both Satan and Satans are mentioned in the Book of Enoch and in Ecclesiasticus. He was identified with the serpent of Genesis, and in the books of the Secret of Enoch, his revolt against God and his expulsion from heaven are described. The legend of Lucifer's fall from heaven is the well where the middle-age conception of the devil sprung. God created man and demanded that the angels bow down to man. This was a demand that Lucifer refused to obey. Lucifer and his followers that chose to love themselves over the will of God rose up and waged a bitter war against God and his angel Michael. Lucifer took the form of a great dragon and was driven out of heaven by Michael and his angels. Lucifer was cast into a fiery hell where they were to rot for all of eternity. The story survived until the 1600s, when it was made popular to the Western world by John Milton when he wrote his Paradise Lost. Influenced no doubt by St. Augustine and perhaps the Book of Enoch, Milton went to work and wrote one of the Western world's greatest pieces of literature. Here we have a view of Lucifer as the ultimate rebel. "Is this the region, this the soil, the clime?" said then the lost archangel. "This the seat that we must change for heaven, this mournful gloom for that celestial light? Be it so, since he who now is sovereign can dispose and bid what shall be right. Farthest from him is best, whom reason hath equalled, force hath made supreme above his equals. Farewell, happy fields where joy forever dwells. Hail horrors, hail infernal world, and thou profoundest hell. Receive thy new possessor, one who brings a mind not to be changed by place or time. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. What matter where, if I be still the same, and what I should be all but less than he, whom thunder hath made greater? Here at least we shall be free. The Almighty hath not built here, for his envy will not drive us hence. Here we may reign secure, and in my choice to reign is worth ambition, though in hell. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven." If a creature such as the devil truly exists, the Dark Ages suited him quite well. The collapse of the Roman Empire and the subsequent fall of law and order lent itself to the mischief of the devil. Without a strong civil order, the people began to fear that evil was stronger than ever before. This is the period of time that gave us the image of the modern devil, the horns and the hooves, the crafty deal-maker whose goal was your soul. The people of the time blamed Satan and his minions for all manner of things. Demons lurked everywhere. They caused sickness and madness. They caused crops to fail. They brought with them the Black Death. They were everywhere. Most of all, they lurked in the hearts of man. The church took the view that it was the devil that had come to tear down the body of Christ. The church declared war on Satan and his agents in this world. They began a campaign to purify the souls of the people. Often it was through fear and intimidation. This age gave us the Spanish Inquisition and the witch trials. Thousands perished in the church's pursuit of the devil. People began to make pacts with the devil for wealth and power. These deals will often turn against the person seeking their heart's desire, and they end up in hell for all of eternity. Faust was a play by Christopher Marlowe in which the title character makes a deal with Lucifer through Mephistopheles. Faust was to live 24 years, and in that time he will have Mephistopheles as a servant. Faust's goal was to use this time and the supernatural power of Mephistopheles as a tool to gain all the knowledge in the universe. This age gave the devil incredible credibility. Everything bad was ascribed to him and his minions. During this time, Man was put to an incredible test. The institution of the church that was charged with protecting man from evil turned to the devil's own tactics. Blood flowed and pain reigned. This was truly the Dark Age.